from the University of North Carolina School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Another semester has come and gone. Leaves fall, students graduate, but one thing remains the same: Carolina sports. Welcome to the Sports Extra Best Of Show. I'm Susanna Black.
And I'm Alana Albrecht. From an up and down football season to the release of the Weinstein Report, there was never a dull moment. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to recap some of our reporters' favorite stories from the semester.
We don't pay much attention to the men and women who manage our basketball teams, but as former manager Sean Dwyer proves, they could have a bright future ahead with the game of basketball. Tate Frazier reports.
He doesn't stand out behind Roy Williams and the talented players and coaches along the UNC bench, but former manager Sean Dwyer will always remember these moments.
I feel like that's probably the best program in the nation. They just do things the right way, and they really know how to make that culture of winning.
After 3 full seasons with the UNC basketball team, Dwyer graduated and made the jump to a full-time job in a familiar setting, a gym, working with the UNCG basketball program.
It's a little bit of everything. So I'm the video coordinator as well. I'm also the director of our statistics department, which is the department is me. So I'm doing a lot of statistics work.
He's on staff with 3 other former Heels, with head coach Wes Miller, assistant coach Jackie Manuel, and head of basketball operations JB Tanner.
But that mainly because of the Wes and how great his staff is, have really brought me in with welcome arms, and it's been great.
The Carolina Connection offers insight into the upper echelon of college basketball.
Actually, like working with the guys when they were getting prepared for the NBA draft, or Marcus Page, all of the last 2 years, being able to see what they did to get better and being able to relate that to this level, to these guys. Like, if you do this, like, you can see the measured jumps, like you can see the progression really take place.
Dwyer says the Carolina basketball family is extremely close-knit, and he attributes that culture to Roy Williams.
Coach Williams was incredible because he knew I was trying to get in basketball. So he did everything in his power to help me out and help me stay within the Carolina family, and he ultimately helped me get here with Wes.
The transition down I-40 is something Dwyer's enjoying, but he admits he'll miss witnessing moments of freakish athleticism like this one from JP Tokoto. In Greensboro, I'm Tate Frazier reporting.
UNCG had 4 former Tar Heels on staff, and Roy Williams plans to attend 1 game this season in Greensboro.
Most of the time, walk-on athletes for big-time schools never leave the sidelines, but one walk-on for Carolina football this year snatched an opportunity to make a huge impact on the team. Brian McIntosh has more.
The 6'3" receiver from Rockville, Maryland, has become one of the Tar Heels' newest offensive weapons, making key touchdown catches in each of Carolina's 2 wins this season. He even set a record with this 91-yard touchdown against San Diego State. Hollins wasn't recruited out of high school. He uses this as motivation every day.
Yeah, I mean, it is a chip, but I like having it there because it's a difference between walk-ons and scholarship, because you have to earn that scholarship role, and that's what I had to do. So I want that chip on my shoulder. I don't want to take it off.
Hollins says that his recent success doesn't change anything.
Everything's the same for me. Working hard. I don't think because you start doing well, you should change how you do things. If you're doing well, just keep it up.
Scoring touchdowns apparently isn't his only talent. Teammates and coaches say that he is the funniest and weirdest player on the team.
I might be the funniest, best looking or something like that, but I don't know about weirdest. I don't know about all that. Hey, Sean, you telling people I'm the weirdest? You know what I'm talking about, Coach? He talking about I'm the weirdest. That's crazy.
Hollins also has a pretty funny nickname, Backpack Mac.
That's from a backpack that I always brought around with me, 24/7. Because anytime I have some, I don't like to have it away from me. So I had a backpack that was always with me.
Hollins is happy about his recent success with the team, but is eager to grow more as a player.
It means a lot. It was a long journey, and I haven't arrived where I want to be yet, but I feel like I'm on the way.
Carolina fans certainly hope that there's more to come from Backpack Mac. In Chapel Hill, I'm Brian McIntosh reporting.
Backpack Mac ended the season with 34 catches for 611 yards. The only player with more was Ryan Switzer. He also led the team with 8 receiving touchdowns.
Odds are, if you're not in Kenan Stadium on a football game day, you're watching the Tar Heels on a network like ESPN. What you don't see is the hours of preparation it takes just to air one game. Our Brett Thompson has more.
College football gives millions of fans an opportunity to kick back, relax, and watch their favorite teams play. What those millions don't realize is how much time and effort goes into just one game, especially for a director like UNC's own Tim Sutton.
We do about 7 hours of conference calls. 2.5 or so hours we evaluate our previous shows from the other week. Then I'll spend a couple of hours reviewing my game, writing a report. And finally, on that set day, I also have a production meeting with the coaches. It's well over 40 hours, not including travel and all of that.
The driving force behind the worldwide leader in sports is actually a world-class trailer.
This trailer contains equipment ranging from graphics to playback to audio. Engineers rewire the equipment every week as the truck travels, making the job much longer than just 60 minutes of game time.
This truck that we're in parked Friday morning, and we put in a 10-hour day building the cameras, doing every audio patch for the headsets and intercom to the referee mics and the announcers in the booth, and every video patch that has to be set up to move the video signals to the cameras in the trucks, to the uplink that's across the way, and the first and 10, all of our video setups. So we are a 10-hour day that precedes the event day.
Then, of course, there's the announce booth. The booth is filled with preparational sheets, statistical spreadsheets, and, as always, a picture-perfect view of the stadium. With the effort put in to make sure broadcasts run smoothly, even for a blowout like Saturdays, you could say these crew members are hitting all the basics. From Greenville, I'm Brett Thompson, reporting.
Now, while it's no Sports Extra, it's still pretty cool to look at an ESPN production from the inside.
A wise fish once said, "Just keep swimming."
When we come back, how a Carolina swimmer let nothing slow him down.
Connect with us online by liking the Sports Extra Facebook page and following us on Twitter @SportsExtra_UNC.
Used to call me the buttered biscuit. Back then I was a sex expert. I know about birth control, too.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Which planet are we living on? It's right here.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
For sophomore Joanna Boyles, age is just a number. She's only 19 years old, but she already has a pretty impressive resume. Amanda Lee has the story.
Joanna Boyles started playing soccer when she was only 4 years old. Since then, she's excelled in the sport at every level. She's played for top club teams, U.S. national teams, and now she's a sophomore playing for the legendary women's soccer program here at UNC.
It's unbelievable. I grew up coming to every single game, and I was watching the stands at Fetzer. Now it's pretty cool to be playing on Fetzer.
Instead of playing for her high school soccer team at Sanderson, Joanna played for the '94 Castle Chelsea ladies, who practiced right here at WRL Soccer Park. She was a leader on the team, even though she was a year younger than most of her teammates. That's nothing new for her, though. She's used to playing and standing out against older competition. That's how Coach Dorrance discovered her.
She carved a couple players in a very tight space with a really sophisticated set of moves. I was impressed, and so the other coaches sitting there were also impressed. So they leaned over and said, "Anson, what year is she in school?"
Coach Dorrance said she was in 11th grade, but he was off by 3 years. Joanna was only in 8th grade at the time. After that game, Coach Dorrance invited her for a visit to Chapel Hill and suggested that she graduate high school a year early so she could get a jump start on her career at UNC. She says that decision has given her an edge on the field.
I think staying another year in club, I think I would have just kind of plateaued, but coming here a year early really pushed me to grow as a player and a person.
Joanna didn't have instant success at UNC. As a freshman, she played behind Crystal Dunn, one of the greatest players in program history. Adjusting to less playing time and a new level of competition was difficult.
It was a big change and it was a big jump, and I needed that. I needed something to kind of light a fire under me.
That fire helped Joanna earn a starting spot on the team this year. She's increased her offensive production too, scoring 3 goals on 27 shots so far this season, and there's many more to come. In Chapel Hill, I'm Amanda Lee reporting.
The women's soccer team's season ended in the 3rd round of the NCAA tournament. Boyles finished the season with 3 goals and 8 assists.
Behind every great team is an even greater coach. For the UNC field hockey team, that coach is Karen Shelton. Morgan Ammons tells us about the stellar program Shelton has built at UNC.
6 NCAA championships, 18 ACC championships, and 31 winning seasons are just a few things head field hockey coach Karen Shelton has accomplished at UNC.
And it's all an unbelievable thrill, and it's something the kids take for the rest of their lives, which is cool.
As a player, Coach Shelton has experienced some thrills of her own, even playing in the 1984 Olympics.
So I was fortunate enough to be in the LA Olympics and actually medaled, and really, one of the proudest moments of my life.
She credits her proud moments as a coach to the things that draw top talent to enroll here.
And I credit a lot of our successes, just about all of these successes, not to me or to my staff, really. It's to the University of North Carolina that can draw these exceptional student athletes.
Senior Lauren Sheely says the relationships Coach Shelton builds with her players makes her coaching style unique.
She's really easy to work with, and the better relationship you're going to have with the coach, the more you're going to want to work for her, and that's definitely been the case this year.
More than anything, Shelton enjoys watching her players develop not only as athletes, but as young women.
It's never been about the job or the money. It's been about representing the University of North Carolina and working with great kids and doing something that I believe in, which is empowering young women.
To empower herself, Shelton keeps her 9 NCAA runner-up trophies in her office as inspiration, and as a reminder of how much better it feels to win the title. In Chapel Hill, I'm Morgan Ammons reporting.
Coach Shelton and her husband, Willie Scroggs, a former UNC men's lacrosse coach, have a combined 9 NCAA championships. Now that's a power couple.
Medical problems can end athletic careers, but this diagnosis pushed one swimmer to reach his biggest achievement.
Tar Heel Ben Colley is one of the fastest swimmers in the nation. At Nationals in California this summer, he swam the 4th fastest time in the 200 butterfly and earned a spot on the national team alongside Olympians like Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte. Colley says he's surprised to be on the roster.
I never really thought that I could ever be in that position.
Especially when Colley wasn't sure he'd still be in the pool. Last year, doctors diagnosed him with type 1 diabetes.
It was pretty shocking and scary because I was just so clueless on what it was and what that means.
Last September, Colley knew something was wrong when his swimming started to suffer.
I was so out of shape and so fatigued during practice, and I lost 25 pounds.
Monitoring his insulin levels has become routine, but the diagnosis came as a total surprise.
I just wouldn't think of myself as a candidate for diabetes, but it's genetic or you can get it in a virus.
Collie says it hasn't affected his swimming since he started taking insulin. He just has to make sure his blood sugar doesn't drop below 70 after practice or meets.
The lowest I've been is like 38, which was really, really bad, but I didn't pass out. I just ate a bunch of Skittles. It was good.
Collie will start preparing for the 2016 Olympics after the Tar Heels swim season ends.
If you're looking to lose weight or maybe even gain some, stepping on a scale isn't the best way to measure your progress. Alexis Simmons tells us it's more important to know what your weight is comprised of.
It's a test that will tell you something you might not know, and that's your body composition, says UNC senior Vincent Abiona.
Even if you're not going to work out after, just seeing where you are can affect you mentally.
Graduate assistant of the Functional Movement and Fitness Center, Jordan Lee, says when determining how healthy you are, consider multiple tests other than your body mass index.
It's really what is the body made of, not how much does it weigh.
Body mass index is a simple tool for measuring obesity. It says a 5'9" guy who is 2 inches taller than me, weighing 170 pounds, is considered overweight. But BMI is not the most accurate way to measure your health.
Like a bodybuilder who may be of average height but weighs quite a bit because they have a lot of muscle mass, muscle weighs more than fat, their ratio may be skewed to the point that they're categorized as unhealthy.
That's why finding out your body composition, the ratio of fat mass to everything else in your body, is a better indicator of how healthy you are.
The skin fold test, which you're kind of grabbing a section of skin to see how much skin and fat are in that area of the body. The handheld bioelectrical impedance, that it's a little device that you hold your arms out straight and there's a current that's sent through your body.
Abiona's BMI of 22 is good. When measuring body fat, 11.5 to 14.8% indicates a suitable level for males in their 20s. With 7% body fat, Abiona is more than just good. He's in a category that's elite for fitness.
When you're doing things, you don't see the physical results, but when you have numerical data, it makes a huge difference.
And differences in test results are something to look out for. That's why getting more than one test is ideal. In Chapel Hill, I'm Alexis Simmons.
There are additional body composition tests that can provide you with more precise measurements that include an underwater weighing tank and a bod pod, which is an air displacement tool. The Gasols, the Mannings, and the Barbers.
Is there a UNC duo that could join these famous brothers? Next on Sports Extra.
Kids will spend 8 minutes decorating their little brother.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time. Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
It's incredible to have one family member playing a Division I sport, but two? Caleb Waters tells us more about this dynamic golfing duo.
For Robert and William Register, golf seems to run in the family. Robert, a senior, and William, a freshman, are both members of the UNC golf team, a pairing they've seen coming for years.
I looked around a lot of different schools and figured this was the best place for me, and then he decided pretty early on that he wanted to do the same thing. So He committed like as a sophomore in high school, I think. So we've known that it's coming for a while, and it's pretty cool to now live it out for a year.
William has already won one tournament this year, and his older brother has played an important role in shaping his game.
I've made a lot of decisions, like going out to practice. Like if Robert was going to go out to practice, I was going to go out to practice. If he was going to go work out, I was going to go work out. I didn't like. What he did definitely made me decide like what I want to do.
Although they're teammates for a year here at UNC and often competed growing up, Robert says family comes before golf.
I'd say we're definitely brothers first. We've grown up, spent a ton of time together, so we're really close. We do pretty much everything together. When we were in high school, we won a state championship together on the team, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely say we're brothers and friends first, and then teammates second.
He has a great work ethic. I've learned so much from him, just being around him all the time. So pushed me to work hard and just trying to model my work ethic after him.
Even though Robert will be leaving Chapel Hill after this season, golf will almost certainly continue to play a major role in their relationship. From Chapel Hill, I'm Caleb Waters, reporting.
The Register brothers still have the entire spring to hit the greens. Their season will start back up in early February.
You think of sports and you think of a field or court and with a ball and a goal. But what about a computer and a keyboard? Our Kayla Gibson looked into the emerging esports trend and what one college did to legitimize gaming as a sport.
Until recently, most people wouldn't have considered playing video games a sport. But according to UNC esports president Danny Kao, that's changing.
Esports is following a similar path that sports are taking.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
The video game League of Legends is challenging the idea of what a sport really is. The game has 27 million players daily and organized teams, drafts, and fan bases for professional players. League's World Championship last year sold out to a crowd at the Staples Center in Los Angeles.
It's not as intensive in terms of like an athletic, physical sense, but I guess in terms of a mental sense, it's just as like taxing on a person, I guess.
It's become so popular that Robert Morris University made League of Legends a varsity sport. The Illinois private school will be offering scholarships up to $50,000. Kao says he would welcome the idea if it caught on.
I would definitely kind of try to do something if we could do that at UNC, but it's probably a long ways off.
Associate Athletic Director Beth Miller agrees.
I think it'd have to kind of really evolve and come through the process, and as far as even being considered a sport on the national level.
Miller says UNC hasn't added a varsity sport to its program since women's rowing in the 90s. But will esports become part of the university sports universe? Kao says he thinks it's possible.
There will still always be that stigma that we're just gamers, but I mean, the fact that one university has done it already, that sets the precedent that it will be kind of spawning up maybe in the future.
And for gamers across the country, that would be a victory. In Chapel Hill, I'm Kayla Gibson, reporting.
The UNC Esports Club also has competitive gamers in StarCraft, Dota 2, and Super Smash Bros. No word yet on if any of these other games have a chance at becoming varsity sports.
How do you take a contest from a work of fiction and turn it into a real-life sport? AJ Nwoko has the answer.
J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series introduced the world to a magical sport known as Quidditch, but you don't have to travel to Hogwarts to experience that same high-flying action. That's the case with UNC's Quidditch team as it begins its first season as an official club sport. President of the team, Dylan Myers, says it took a lot to turn this mystical pastime into UNC Club Sport's newest edition.
First off, we had to prove that we could maintain a club that actually existed year to year. And at the same time be competitive.
And although the sport may stem from a work of fiction, Quidditch captain Max Maselli says it's pretty real to the players.
We're going pretty hard. Like, you have a lot of people running around with dodgeballs trying to peg people in the face as hard as they can. And you have other people that are trying to hit people as hard as they can. Like, it gets pretty real.
Away from a serious game, you don't step on a field and come off without some mark to show for it.
For a muggle like you or me, running around with a broom or ball in hand might seem kind of tough, but Meyer says all newcomers need is a little time.
It's a lot to pick up, but a week, 2 weeks of practice, and it'll feel second nature.
And after coming in 24th in last year's World Cup, a snitch isn't the only thing this team is seeking.
Winning nationals is what we want to do.
Maselli says the toughest obstacle doesn't come from beaters or bludgers, but what others say.
So many people that I hear that like to laugh at it, make fun of it, and that sort of deal. They've never watched a game or anything like that. They don't understand how it works.
Success in sports often comes down to just having fun, and that definitely applies to this sport.
At the end of the day, you're running around with a broomstick in between your legs. If you're taking yourself seriously, you're doing it wrong.
And Myers has answered for any skeptics who still might question the team's standing as an official club sport.
Come out to the tournament, come out to one of our practices. If you see us, then you're not going to walk away doubting.
And with that attitude, you don't have to be a Quidditch player to know this club sport is a keeper. In Chapel Hill, I'm AJ Nwoka reporting.
If you want to see the Quidditch team in action at UNC, they will be hosting a tournament February 7th. There are countless number of martial arts in the world. Taekwondo, karate, jiu-jitsu.
But we've got one that will take the cake, or maybe the bananas, next on Sports Extra.
Don't forget to tune into our sister shows, Carolina Week at 5 p.m. every Wednesday on Time Warner 24 or Campus Channel 34, and Carolina Connection at 8:30 every Saturday morning on WCHL 97.9 FM.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing.
I'm so proud of you, son.
Then, we went on Thundershark 3 times.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Ballerina.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
We've all heard the phrase, monkey see, monkey do.
But some UNC students think it's better to do what they see monkeys doing. Molly Oak has the story.
There's a martial arts club on campus that's making moves, like monkeys. It's an ancient Chinese martial art UNC instructor Hinar Polzer has been studying for 25 years.
Usually we focus more on the movement art of it rather than the sparring.
That movement making it seem a lot like a jungle in the Woolen Gymnasium combat room. Monkey Kung Fu is a powerful art form of Chinese Kung Fu that dates back to about 200 BC.
But when it's carefully put together, it's a very full and beautiful system.
A system that only comes from embracing your inner animal and the monkey mindset. But there's more to it than just monkeying around.
And many people will think that anybody can jump around and just, make funny faces.
I was one of those people. And now it's my turn to try. That look like a monkey? It takes balance, flexibility, and good reaction times, which I had none of. Monkey Kung Fu isn't only about the attack, though.
It's playful and very, very effective.
Polzer says he teaches it as a self-defense tactic, the element of surprise being their biggest asset.
You really don't expect these movements.
No, not at all. He says the key to Monkey Kung Fu is letting loose, and the president of the club, Mariam Kazemzadeh Tufi, agrees.
You just kind of have to let go and just be a monkey, and it's great.
All that monkey business burns a lot of calories. In Chapel Hill, I'm Molly Oak, reporting.
That does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'd like to thank everyone who works on the show, in front of the camera and behind the scenes. Without you, none of this would be possible. We'll be back with live shows in January.
Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.